Right guys, it's Andy and welcome back to the channel. Now, like I said in the unboxing of issue 1, one of the little disheartening things about the set is that you don't get any primer or undercoat, and it doesn't tell you how to do it. So I had an amazing idea and I thought, I've already showed you how to assemble the miniature. I'm going to show you how to prime it, but rather than doing it, prime it with a rattle can, like a spray can, I'm going to show you how to prime it with paint itself in a pot. So, like I said in the last video, I'm going to paint this in a sub-assembly so we can get to all the nooks and crannies and the details there. But before we start, need some clean water. I just use my my girls' old cup that they don't like to use anymore. So got that there. We've got the starter brush that we got in the set. We've got the painting handle, which if you subscribe you should get this in the future. It's a handy little device anyway. So yeah, we've got that all in place. I've just used a bit of blue tack there from Wilkinson's to keep it done, to keep it stuck to the handle. I'm going to use brush on primer. Now this is by Army Painter, which is another brand available on the market that sells paints which you can use for Warhammer, Warhammer 40k, your Space Marines, your Death Guard. So this is a brush on primer, and we're going to use our trusty palette which I got from the works for £1, which you can't beat that at all. So I'm going to give this, all paint, you should always give it a good shake. So I'm going to give that a good shake now, because you want to mix the pigments and the medium, the acrylic medium, got to mix them together. Now with this you don't need to thin this one, so we're going to pop it onto the palette. That should do us. Dip my brush into the water, like that. And then what we want to do is, because we don't want it sopping wet, you just get a bit of kitchen towel and just dry it like that. Okay. And what I normally do is just put my brush in the paint, give a little mix around just in case it didn't mix properly. And then what you do is you get some on your paintbrush and then you draw a line with your paintbrush. And basically what you're doing is you're getting rid of the excess paint off your brush. So zoom in a little bit more, and then we're just going to paint this on straight onto the model. We do not want to obscure any of this detail, so if it looks a little bit see-through, don't worry, you can always come back and put another coat on. We simply just layer it on like this. And the reason why you use a primer or an undercoat is because whatever colour you want to paint in next, you need it to adhere to the model. Now painting it straight onto plastic, it's not really recommended. And most of the times the paint will eventually chip off, and it could take a while, a couple of coats for it to adhere onto the miniature. And we just want to try and get as minimal strokes as possible to get this on. Like so. But we don't really need to be that worried because it is only an undercoat. So ideally we'd like to get rid of all this blue colour on the model. Now I've never used this product before by Army Painter. I normally spray paint my models, but I thought, why not help you guys out? And in the future you may want to get yourself a couple more paintbrushes, because a larger paintbrush would have been a lot better for this job. Sometimes it's dependent upon the brush of how good the job will look. Now I'm undecided whether this brush is any good at the moment. I might come back and show you when I've done a second coat. And what I mean by that is you just wait for this to dry completely, then do the same coat, exactly the same as what you're doing now, and then that should give you a better base layer then. Yeah, so I'm not going to play around with this anymore. I'm going to leave it at that, and I will come back before I finish the video after I've done a second coat. And we will use this Space Marine in the future to paint as we go along, collecting this set. And then for this I'm going to do the exact same. I'll just quickly show you how I'll do it. I'll load my brush up again and just start painting. But you will find in miniature war painting that you will have to do 2 thin coats on most things. On other paints you would thin down with a bit of water. On this you don't need to, it's already thin. And what we'd do is as well, once this is dry, we then go onto the back. And then paint the back. So I'd replicate that again with the arms, and then I'll come back when I've done the second coat and we'll see how well it looks. So as you can see guys, I've just come back. I've done a second coat of this. It's pretty much drying off now, and there's some parts where I've missed, but it's not the end of the world. We just wanted that prime undercoat on the miniature so we can go and do our base coat over this. Now, like I said, it is very important to prime your miniatures, because you know, painting over the plastic, it just doesn't work out, and your miniatures will look crap. And no offense, but when you're first starting out, unless you are a really talented person, your miniatures won't look the best anyway. So it's time to make things look as best as possible. You know, I'm not a pro painter, I'm just pro painting. Just want to encourage people to do things the right way. But if I was you and I was going to continue doing this hobby, I would invest in, you know, getting some spray cans. You know, there's multiple places where you can buy them from. Games Workshop do their own, Army Painter do their own. You can get spray paints from Poundland, Wilkinson's, Halfords, and they all got different prices, they've all got different names, but at the end of the day, an undercoat's an undercoat. So guys, if this has helped, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you later. Ciao.